Hi, and welcome back to TUTV. I'm Michaela Crownover.
And I'm Hunter Lynn. In this week's episode, we take a look at the City of Tulsa's Oktoberfest activities. We eagerly await TU's upcoming homecoming weekend, and TUTV member and student activist Aristotle Orsini joins us for an exclusive all-access interview.
But first, let's get a short recap of major headlines this week. It's homecoming week at the University of Tulsa, and the Student Board's activity has planned a full lineup of events bringing students, alumni, and the TU community together to celebrate their Hurricane Pride. Yesterday, the Fall Festival brought food, games, and pumpkin painting to Chapman Commons. Tonight, student organizations return to Chapman for street painting from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Wednesday night's headline, The Gold West, is from 7 to 9 p.m. at Sampson Plaza at the Union. This event will feature carnival-style games and live entertainment. On Thursday, students can help build the bonfire at 2 to 4 at the Deltier Commons. And finally, Friday's night at Bonfire and Prep Rally will take place from 7 to 9. Also, the Deltier Commons students, alumni, and fans can come together to cheer on the Golden Hurricanes before Saturday's homecoming game. Tune in next week for a full coverage recapping each of these events.
The second ever No Kings protest took place October 18th, 2025 in all 50 states. People united with signs, costumes, and loud chants to show their disapproval of current President Donald Trump. Correspondent Roma Carter has the story.
I'm standing on the grounds of Dreamcatchers Park here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where the second National No Kings Day protest was held just days ago. No kings in America, worst president ever, save our democracy, break the ice, no one is illegal on stolen land. These are just a few of the signs found at the No Kings protest. These slogans represent the sentiment of millions of demonstrators across the nation. A few hundred protesters came out to this Tulsa location. Across all 50 states, it is estimated that 7 million people showed up, 2 million more than the first No Kings protest back in June of 2025. Protesters surrounded the sidewalk, chanting as cars passed by, most honking with approval. The ones that disapproved only further ignited the crowd. Actions such as deploying the National Guard to populated cities, sending ICE agents to unlawfully raid homes, and enacting the Big Beautiful Bill, which harms more citizens than it benefits, is seen as a threat to our democracy and warrants collective protesting, even in a red state. Hundreds of Tulsans gathered to support a common cause, calling out the tyranny of Donald Trump and his administration. Here in Tulsa, the fired-up crowd protested for the full 3 hours despite the rainy weather. Another No Kings protest in Tulsa took place on 71st and Memorial, near the Woodland Hills Mall. This political demonstration serves as a reminder that the only monarchs in America are butterflies. For TUTV, I am Roma Carter.
Earlier this month, Students Justice for Palestine, TU, has formed a petition against the university's transition between the Oracle Human Capital Management and its HR Personnel Management Services, which was announced via email October 3rd. The students' opposition in the systems of Oracle's financial contributions to Israeli military services and the violence of the humanitarian crisis in Gaza since October 7th, 2023. We return to TUTV reporter Michael Searles, who interviewed one of the petition's authors.
On October 6th, a petition was announced in the Students for Justice in Palestine group meet advocating that TU cancel its transition to Oracle, which amassed significant support from the student body in just a few days. Last week, I spoke with Adrian Warwick, an author of the petition, who cited concerns about the university's association with and Oracle's complicity in the UN-declared genocide in Gaza.
There's a lot of money in private institutions, and we believe that students should have the right to know where their money is going and to have the right to demand that it goes to ethical places. Our initial goal was 300 students, and we have actually already surpassed that. We're at 310. We've been doing word of mouth, we've been tabling across several days, we've been putting up flyers. The movement has been largely positive because, as it turns out, university students don't want their money funding a genocide.
Along with the petition, a letter was sent to TU's administration expressing the students' ethical concerns. On October 10th, the group received an email response authored by interim president Rick Dixon.
In the email, he did not address a single one of the violations of human rights that Oracle has been supporting financially. He just strictly claims that it's a business decision. Our primary concern at Students for Justice in Palestine is not about any sort of pushback from the administration. It's the level of apathy that has been shown by the administration, and they have shared no desire to change.
For TUTV, I'm Michael Searles.
The university has been working on this transition for 2 years, after previously using Paycom and PeopleAdmin for its staff management operations. The Oracle Corporation is a multinational database, software, and technology company with a diverse customer base. Its cloud HCM software was selected by the Department of Defense in 2019 to serve as its human resource operations. The Office of Human Resources reaffirmed their motivation for switching vendors as Oracle's specialization and favorability among higher education institutions and their unique services for universities. When asked for comment, TU administration stated, quote, "The business decision to utilize one product or vendor over another often comes down to functionality and affordability," end quote.
SJC is not the only TU organization group for students' voices. Last week, sophomore Aristotle Orsini began the student initiative against Oklahoma's representative Kevin Hearn becoming the next TU president. In response to the unconfirmed rumors that is heavily considered for the position, tonight Aristotle joins us in the studio for our weekly special guest segment.
Hello, I'm Anderson Bell here interviewing Aristotle Orsini, the leader of the leader and starter of the movement against Kevin Hearn for president at the University of Tulsa. Aristotle, glad to have you here as always.
It's great to be here. A little weird on this side of the chair.
Sure
but,
it is.
You know, always happy to show up for TUTV.
Yeah, absolutely. So how did this movement start? Like, what was your motivation? Essentially, why is this something you cared enough to mobilize about?
Right. Well, so there have been rumors circulating around campus, as I'm sure a lot of people have heard at this point, about the offer to make Kevin Hearn president and just the possibility of him being president in general. And so I thought it was important that I try and find as much information to substantiate or dispel those rumors as possible. And during that search, I ended up finding evidence to substantiate it. So I made all the information that I had public and shared my concerns that I knew many members of the student body would agree with.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And I mean, these are still rumors at the
Yes.
time. The university has not officially confirmed or denied this. In fact, they've denied it.
Right.
But this movement has grown quite quickly.
It has.
Has it grown faster than you'd expect, or
Much faster than I expected. I mean, I made a group me last Wednesday night at around 5 p.m. and then I went to my 3-hour class.
Right.
My phone did not stop buzzing that entire time.
Wow.
During those 3 hours, we gained around 200 or 250 members.
Wow.
Which was a lot more than I expected just from, making a group me and sending a quick little blurb to some organizations.
And that's approaching 10% of the student body, right?
Yeah. I don't know exactly how many students we have. I know it's around 3,000 or 4,000.
Right.
So yeah, it is approaching that number.
That's fantastic. Wow, that's a very big movement. Would you say, what's the primary concern here with Kevin Hearn as president? Is it political? Is it not political? What's the goal?
There's a little bit of both. I'm not a Republican.
Right.
I don't support Republican candidates in general, but there's more to it than that. There are nuances. There is. I spoke to one professor who specifically was concerned about if Kevin Hearn becomes president, he will likely cut a lot of liberal arts. And that should be a huge concern to everyone here,
Right.
not just liberal arts students, because if you're not a liberal arts student, I imagine you still have friends who are liberal arts students, you have taken a liberal arts class. I'm sure even the most steadfast physics major has enjoyed at least one liberal arts class in their time here.
Sure.
And cutting funding to liberal arts hurts the credibility of the university, but also hurts the students and faculty here.
Yeah, absolutely. So what goals do you have in mind for this organization? What's the next steps here?
Well, we've organized a protest that will be happening next to the library in Kendall Hall on Thursday from 12:30 to 5 until the end of operating hours for the university. And the goal there is to just show up, show the unity that the student body has against Kevin Hern and against really, and it's not just Kevin Hern, it's any president who doesn't have the proper qualifications that we would want, you know, a PhD, experience in higher education. We don't just want another politician because we saw how that went with the last one.
Right,
you
absolutely.
know, we want someone qualified, we want someone who knows what they're doing, and we want to make that known to the Board of Trustees.
Yeah. And you ultimately want to make this known. Would you say one of the ultimate goals is getting this to reach alumni networks, donors, people that could enact change probably more than just the average student could?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of students here, we're here on scholarship. We don't have a lot of leverage over the university with our money as you would at, you know, some other universities. Because the TU has been incredibly generous with scholarships. And so it's important that we reach those wallets that do impact TU. We, you know, alumni donors, future students, we need to connect outside of campus with those people so that change can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And even though the university has denied these claims officially, specifically regarding the $100 million that there are claims that have been offered,
Yes.
You still think this is worth organizing over?
I do. I think that the fact that rumors have come up at all means that there has to be some credibility to it. Because with how widespread these rumors are, and with how many members of faculty even are sharing and spreading these rumors, there has to be a basis for it somewhere. So if it's not $100 million, it's something else. It is the possibility of Kevin Hern.
Well, again, all of these are alleged, these are rumors. We are not speaking on behalf of any university statements. But thanks for being on today,
Of course,
Aristotle,
yeah.
and we'll see you next time.
Well, Michaela, on a much lighter note, of course, back to homecoming, where the university has plenty of festivities planned, and yet it seems that the entire 4-day period around that weekend is forecast for rain. So do you think we're going to have a repeat of last year where we missed the bonfire?
I'm really hoping that the bonfire actually happens. I think it'd be really cool to experience, but, you know, we live in Oklahoma. We can't really control the rain.
That's true, and you know, if you want a bonfire without the concern of the water, you can just put some sodium in there and that'll catch fire the second the rain touches it, so you know. We have options if we need, and I'm sure we have more than negative $6 million to throw around towards that bonfire budget. We'll be back shortly with news about a shooting at Oklahoma State University, as well as new State Superintendent Lindel Fields and the mark he plans to make on the state's education system. As for now, I'm Hunter Lin.
And I'm Michaela Crownover.
Thank you for joining us.
For TUTV, I'm Van Ra. I'm standing at LBC to celebrate Moon Festival, which is one of the most important celebrations in Asian culture. The Moon Festival, also known as the Mid-Autumn Festival, is a cherished celebration across China, Vietnam, Korea, and many other Asian countries. Taking place on the 15th of the 8th lunar month, when the autumn moon is at its brightest. This festival celebrates gratitude, family, and tradition. This October 15, 5 student organizations at U Tulsa, Vietnamese Student Association, Asian American Student Association, Chinese Student Association, Korean Student Association, and Student Activities Board came together to bring this beautiful tradition to our campus.
In a lot of Asian cultures like Vietnam, China, and Korea, every August we celebrate the full moon in a festival called the Moon Festival. And we celebrate it because we believe that it will bring good harvest and luck to the community. So for tonight, we have a lot of wonderful performances from our community, as well as our Vietnamese Student Association fan dances. We have a lot of singing and guitar playing. We also had a lot of activities, as well as good food and raffle prizes.
My favorite Moon Festival tradition is walking with the lanterns.
And what Moon Festival means to me is just getting together with my friends and family and just enjoying this special tradition together.
What it means to me is just to not only spend time, but just to put aside our differences, because it's not only just a Moon Festival, but it's a festival of cultivating family, right? It's not just a festival to have fun, right? But just to kindle our relationship together.
The Moon Festival to me means a time where I can get together with my friends and family and celebrate.
To me, the Moon Festival is about getting to celebrate wonderful traditions with many other people and enjoy other cultures.
Now, let's take a look at some highlights from the Moon Festival celebration.
Hello and welcome back to TUTV. I'm Savannah Mon.
And I'm Anderson Bell.
We have some great campus stories coming up.
But first, let's take a look at this week's biggest Oklahoma State news stories.
The Oklahoma Department of Education has officially rescinded a 2024 directive that required teachers to keep a Christian Bible in every classroom and include it in lesson plans. The policy, issued under former state Superintendent Ryan Walters, faced immediate legal challenges from teachers and parents of multiple faiths. Plaintiffs argued that the mandate violated both the U.S. Constitution's Establishment Clause and the Oklahoma Constitution's requirement that public education does not favor any religious denomination. The court granted the new state superintendent, Lindel Fields, 2 weeks to determine whether he would continue defending the policy. Fields notified the court the next day that he would not. Quote, we plan to file a motion to dismiss and have no plans to distribute Bibles or a biblical character education curriculum in classrooms. Fields said in a statement. Department spokeswoman Tara Thompson says Fields believes decisions about religious matters in classrooms should be made by local districts rather than state mandates. Quote, he believes the decision on whether the Bible should be incorporated into classroom instructions is one best left up to individual districts, Thompson said, stating that state funding on Bibles, quote, is not the best use of taxpayer resources. Thompson added that the department will review other directives issued under Walters, including one that requires teacher applicants from California and New York to take an ideology test. Quote, we need to review all of those mandates and provide clarity to schools moving forward, she said.
3 people were injured in a shooting inside an Oklahoma State University dormitory during the school's homecoming weekend, authorities said. The incident occurred around 3:40 a.m. Sunday morning at Carricker East Residential Hall, according to the university's police department. In a post on X, the department said officers responded after victims reported being shot following a party that had moved from an off-campus location to the dorms. Quote, there were multiple victims, one of which is known to be an OSU student. All are being treated at hospitals in Oklahoma City and Tulsa, according to the department's statement. No details have been released about their conditions, and investigators have not provided information about a suspect, motive, or the number of shots fired. The shooting took place amid Oklahoma State's annual homecoming celebration, often billed as America's greatest homecoming. Thousands of alumni and families had gathered in Stillwater over the weekend for parades, tailgates, and Saturday's football game against the University of Cincinnati. Quote, initial reports indicate a large private party occurred at an off-campus location, police said in a statement. After the gathering disbanded, some attendees returned to Carricker East, where the shooting occurred. The investigation remains ongoing.
Tulsa's River West Festival Park once again brings its Bavarian spirit to town in what's been crowned the nation's #1 Oktoberfest. Now we take a look at Oktoberfest 2025 with TUTV reporter Brooklyn Wegenblatt.
Labeled #1 Oktoberfest in the nation, Tulsa's River West Festival Park has once again transformed into a slice of Bavaria as Oktoberfest 2025 kicked off, bringing 5 days of beer, brats, and big-time fun. From October 16th through the 20th, festival goers could enjoy massive beer tents featuring over 200 taps of German and local brews, traditional music straight from Bavaria, and dance floors open to anyone. It was also a feast for the senses, with bratwurst, schnitzel, pretzels, and apple strudel on the menu, plus local food trucks and artisan vendors. And it's not just for adults. Friday is Family Free Day, with carnival rides and kid-friendly zones, making it a perfect outing for all ages. The amazing fan favorites like the Dash and Dast, Stein hoisting contests, and the annual Lederhosen Lauf Run, all a part of what makes Tulsa's Oktoberfest one of the top celebrations in the country. Whether you're there for the beer, the bands, or just the Bavarian vibes, Tulsa Oktoberfest 2025 served it all. For TUTV, I'm Brooklyn Wagenblatt.
Last month, TUTV spotlighted the brand new Tier List Club formed by freshmen living in Hardesty Hall. Last week, the club took on a new challenge by applying for an SGA charter. TUTV reporter and club member Reese Wood brings us the story.
We are going to, of course, continue, trying to get new members in. The thing is,
2 months ago, the unofficial TU Tier List Club was formed and began having weekly meetings to discuss and rank various topics, from desserts to Pixar movies. 7 weeks later, the 3 executive members make an appearance at one of the Student Government Association's weekly meetings to become an officially chartered club. But what went into this process of becoming a chartered club under TU's student government? To begin the chartering process, organizations must achieve 4 officers, at least 15 members, and a faculty advisor. In tier list club's case, their faculty advisor was Professor Q. Lansana. From there, students can apply using the form created by SGA. Then, they must have a constitution as well as a plan for their organization's longevity laid out to present to SGA's chartering committee. If they are approved by the committee, they will be sent to the SGA Senate to seek final approval. The representatives of Tier List Club have just been escorted out of the room so that the Student Government Association can deliberate whether or not they should be chartered. If they are selected to be chartered, they can receive anywhere from $4 to $8 per person, up to $200 for first-year clubs, which is to help pay for snacks, renting out rooms, and other club expenses.
The journey's been actually really easy. Well, for me, our vice president has taken care of a lot of the technical stuff, but we just got out of our SGA thing, and the questioning process was thorough, and it was really cool to get to defend my club and why I think it should be a charter organization on campus. I recommend going through this process. It's fun to just say it's worth it and that you did it and went for it. There's really nothing stopping you from doing it.
In the end, Tier List Club did not receive approval from the SGA Senate for a sponsored charter. This means they have the option to retry for approval with the chartering committee in the Senate for an autonomous charter, which is not funded by the SGA, or a sponsored charter once again. To find out more about getting your organization chartered, scan the QR code. For TUTV, I'm Reese Wood.
Homecoming is not the only thing happening around campus. This week is National Friends of the Library Week, celebrating the donors and volunteers that support all library functions. McFarland Library is celebrating with their fall book sale this Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Office of Student Affairs is hosting button making and rock painting in recognition of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. This will be held on October 22nd from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the Allen Chapman Student Union, and it is free to attend. On October 26th, Sorority and Fraternity Life will be hosting Trunk or Treat on Fraternity Row from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. This event is put on for the students of Kendall Whittier, local Tulsa families, and U-Tulsa families.
Well, lots of great stuff in the news today, particularly Oktoberfest. Did you go?
No, I did not.
I did, and I think our reports on the ground were very true. It was a blast. It was a great time.
All right, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part, probably the Lufthansa tent where there was a big band playing, live music, great food. It was all a good time, but anyway.
All right. Still to come, we check on this year's new Leadership TU class.
But first, TUTV meteorologist Carter Reed brings us his weekly weather report. We'll be back after this.
Hi, and welcome back to your TUTV weather. I'm Carter Reed, and let's jump right in with our 7-day forecast. Looking ahead, the next few days are going to be upper 70s, cooling off a little bit from what we've had the last week or two. Coming in Thursday evening, we do have about a 30% chance of storms blowing through then. Friday, it will storm at least most of the morning, probably calming down around afternoon. Saturday, Sunday, seeing rain, pretty much covered clouds, not much sunshine. Warming up slightly into Monday in the start of next week. Tuesday, we're going to talk about there's a chance of some severe weather blowing through, as well as Thursday evening this coming week. So let's go ahead and look at that now. Looking ahead to this Thursday, the SPC Storm Prediction Center has gone ahead and introduced a slight risk over our area, starting in eastern Oklahoma, extending right up to about Tulsa. That's going to be driven here by, if we go ahead and look over at our GFS model, we see the wind map here. This is at the 500 millibar height, so kind of mid in the atmosphere. This is going to be showing us what those winds are doing and what kind of storm systems they might be bringing. So if you look off to the right here, we can see that extremely strong trough we've had blow through. That brought some of the storms this weekend and has cooled things off a little bit here. But if you notice here, this is looking at Thursday evening. We see that yellow and green taking place over eastern Oklahoma right now. What that is a shortwave trough being generated kind of over the Four Corners region of the desert southwest. Moving up into our area, we can expect some slight severe weather with that. We're a little bit worried right now about the level of moisture that's coming up. It might not be enough. If that's the case, these storms likely will just form onto a line and not be quite as destructive. If those are able to form up together, we could expect some severe weather, damaging wind, hail, maybe a tornado or two, but that's less likely in our region. Now let's go ahead and look at next week, Tuesday. So this here is another one of our 500 millibar wind maps, now looking at Tuesday of next week. So you see here, this is much more significant of a trough, slightly positively tilted here, leaning towards us. And if you notice here, we have those purples and reds in the eastern part of the state, but we also are currently with Tulsa sitting in some of that yellow. Now that area is known as the right exit region of this trough and the jet streak coming through there, which is actually one of the more severe areas to be in, to have storms and potentially tornadoes, which is a risk we are concerned about with this. So this will be bringing much stronger storms through, likely supercells in our area, then moving into more of a QLCS or linear storm mode as we move into Missouri and Arkansas. With that, I'm Carter Reed, and this has been your TUTV weather.
Welcome back to TUTV. I'm Jody Holland.
And I'm Sam Smith, and we have some exciting stories, campus news stories this week, so let's jump right in. In recent years, TU's freshmen have had opportunities to take a colloquium course to prepare them as leaders of tomorrow. It has undergone a variety of forms and iterations in recent years. TUTV reporter Oksana Miller takes a look at this year's Leadership TU.
Leadership TU is a zero-credit course that meets monthly at Lorton Performance Center and is offered to freshman students. The goal is to learn and practice different aspects of leadership through different activities and to expose students to different leaders in the community.
Hi, I'm Danielle McDonald.
Hi, Jennifer Airy. So we've been doing some activities for students, helping to introduce them to, basic concepts in leadership. As the semester progresses and then into the fall semester, we're going to start bringing in guest speakers who represent different areas of leadership in the local and state community. So I've just confirmed that Dana Keene, who's the Vice Chief Justice of the Oklahoma Supreme Court, is willing to come and talk to students. And the goal is for students to have an opportunity to think through what are the different pathways for leadership. What does it look like to be a leader in the legal community? What might it look like to be a leader in the nonprofit community? What does it look like to be a leader in the TU community? We just had the Student Government Association people who are student leaders. What does that look like? And then my goal also is to get people from different age groups. So what does it mean to be a leader, in your late 20s when you're new in your career, versus what does it look like to be a leader when you're retiring from your career and you've been through an entire career's lifetime of experiences.
Why should students join Leadership TU?
I think it's a wonderful opportunity to help students start to think through why they might want to be leaders and what types of leaders they want to be. It's also a great opportunity for them to work together with a cohort of people from their same class, so other first-year students who are excited and thinking about leadership opportunities. It's a way for students to start networking with each other and also members of the community from the very moment they start their journey here on campus.
The reason I think it is currently restricted to freshmen is that part of it is about you guys building social community. So it's about meeting other students who are new to the institution, students who share your interest in leadership, and thinking about who you guys want to be as a cohort and as a class.
For TUTV, this was Oksana Miller.
TU students flock to the Student Home Center to snag free shirts from Kane Careers. We go to reporter Jody Holland for more on this story.
Kane Careers gave away free t-shirts to students who filled out surveys about their internship experiences, and it had a very large turnout. Located on the second floor of the Home Student Center, Kane Careers is the career development center on TU's campus that offers many services like the Job Placement Guarantee Program, interview rooms that can be booked via handshake, and even a Kane Career Closet where students can pick out a professional outfit each semester. However, even though Kane Careers offers a variety of helpful services, it seems like free stuff is what gets students most excited. So I spoke with Sadiri Purnell, Assistant Director of Programs and Communications, and she claims that students gain more valuable experiences through Kane Careers than just free stuff.
I think students gain skills, experience, and all of those things throughout all the events that we host here. So hopefully it impacts them in some type of way, and as they go out into the world, they can take what they learn from here from Kane Careers and flourish.
For TUTV, I'm Jody Hollins.
The math department is keeping Fridays exciting with its Math at Noon series. This week's lecture focused on matrix research with Dr. Cox-Stibe as the guest speaker. We go to Caitlin Stotts for the report.
The math department hosted another Math at Noon lecture this Friday, giving students and faculty a chance to explore new ideas in math. This week's talk featured Dr. Cox-Stibe, who presented research focused on matrices.
I've, for like the last 5 semesters or something like that, I've organized a faculty research seminar. And so that sort of like merged with this Math at Noon thing, and it's turned into just a single thing. So it used to be that every semester we would have a few research talks, and then there would be lots of weeks where we didn't have anything. And so we've sort of branched out and added to it. So it's just made it better. More people are involved, so it's a good thing.
The Math at Noon series happens every Friday and covers a mix of topics, from new software tools to guest lectures coming later this semester. For TUTV, I'm Caitlin Stotts.
You might have heard about prestigious fellowship programs before, like the Rhodes Scholarship or the Goldwater. But what are these, and how can you apply? This week, TUTV's Benton Raymer sat down with TU Fellowship's advisor to learn more.
Recently, TU has been advertising nationally competitive fellowship opportunities and encouraging students to apply. I wanted to learn more, so I spoke with Mav Henningsen, Manager of Global Programs and Fellowship Advising, to hear what opportunities were available and who should be looking into applying for these fellowships.
A fellowship is simply some money or a partially funded or fully funded opportunity to do something exceptional. So when I say something exceptional, this can be research, it can be teaching, it can be a project, public service. There are all types of opportunities. The people or students who should be looking for these types of opportunities are basically everyone. If you have a special niche interest and want to get it funded, have an innovative idea, then a fellowship could be good for you. If you're high achieving, there's fellowships for that. There's fellowships for artists, fellowships for Indigenous students to study. There are public health fellowships. So I really think that there's a fellowship for every student. The main fellowships that you should look out for are the Goldwater Fellowship or Scholarship. So that one is specifically for STEM students to get money to do research. The Fulbright Scholarship. So that is a funded opportunity to teach, do research, or study abroad after you graduate. The Truman Scholarship, that is for junior students who are interested in doing a career in public service. It's a leadership program and it offers quite a bit of funding as well.
Some fellowships are travel programs, such as the Rhodes Scholarship, which provides a fully funded opportunity to study at Oxford University, while others provide direct funding for you to conduct research or continue your studies. Additionally, being accepted to a fellowship comes with networking opportunities, and it looks great on a resume to future employers.
Students who are interested in these fellowships should contact Mav by sending her an email or by using the Center for Global Engagement's booking link. For TUTV, I'm Benton Raymer.
Welcome back to TUTV. Let's take it to Andrew Griffin with sports.
It's homecoming weekend, and the Golden Hurricane are gearing up for a big matchup against the Temple Owls this Saturday at Chapman Stadium. Tulsa's offense, led by redshirt freshman quarterback Baylor Haynes and powered by senior running back Dominic Richardson, has shown impressive balance and consistency throughout the season. For Temple, quarterback Evan Simon has been lights out for the offense all season. Carrying a sharp 16-0 touchdown to interception ratio, he's been the heartbeat of the Owls' offense. The key for Tulsa will be pressure. If the Hurricane defense, anchored by team-leading tackler Ray Coney, can make Simon uncomfortable in the pocket early and contain the Owl passing attack, the Hurricane will have an edge. With the homecoming crowd behind them, I am optimistic Tulsa can make a statement win on their home turf. Final score prediction? A close one. Golden Hurricane 31, Owls 27. For sports, I'm Andrew Griffin. Jody, back to you.
Thank you, Andrew Griffin. Well, we got a lot of stuff going on this week. Were you able to get a shirt from Kane Careers this week?
I was not. I might be able to Wednesday. I think they're open again then, but
yeah.
We'll see.
We got a lot of more opportunities for free shirts. It's kind of unfair because I work there, so I get all the stuff.
Sounds like a nice deal.
Oh, yeah.